Being a mom at 16 is such a controversial topic that a lot of people don't talk about. It's not something that's easy. It is something that is hard, but most importantly, it's what I know was the catalyst, not just to my life, but to creating an organization that helps moms that are in the same position I was once in.
Hey Glow Talks fam, welcome back. Thanks for being here with us today. We are keeping it real and raw. We've got a very important message today, talking all about teenage pregnancy and maybe being a single mom at a very young age and unsupported. Now, I love this story because we are discussing everything it takes to build a future and build something from nothing, from pain and suffering. And we have the beautiful Amy Montoya to lead us in our talk. So thank you for being here with Empowered Moms.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. I'm looking forward to talking to you and just having a really transparent conversation about what it means to be a young single mom and navigating it, but also how I created an organization to help moms that might be in the same position.
Yeah, I love that, making a purpose out of your pain. So let's just start with your story. How did you find yourself as a teenage pregnant mother, and how did you navigate through that time in your life?
Yeah, so I had my daughter at 16 turning 17. I had a mom that always told me how life should go and that I should, get married first, then have a child. But I also had a mom that was very strict, so I wasn't allowed to go out or do anything. So to answer your question, I found myself being a little bit rebellious.
Okay.
And in the moment of being rebellious and, sneaking out and trying to hang out with my friends and do all these different things, I found myself in the position of okay, now I'm 16 turning 17 being a mom.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that must have been really scary.
It was really scary, and there was a little bit of panic that set into me, but I also can't explain it. There was also a huge sense of comfort because I knew that I needed my daughter in my life. I just cannot explain it. She's exactly what I needed, and she came at the time that I needed. And ultimately, our journey together shaped us not just as a family, but also the impact that we have today into the community.
I love that. And we're going to get more into your daughter's role in all of this. But tell me a little bit about how it was with your family and their response. Were they accepting or just very turned off by it, or supportive? How did that all work out?
It was really tough. So the way that I was raised in my family, they're from a Catholic background. And because of that, never in my mind did it even occur to me, I'm not going to have my daughter. And it's not something that my family pushed as well. They're like, hey, you made your bed. Time to lie in it. And how are you going to grow from this? My mom was disappointed because I am the first daughter. On top of that, my mom came from El Salvador and started a new life, a new journey here. So for her, she looked at it in a way of, I brought you to America so that you can create better and you could do better and have more opportunities than I do. But you're about to struggle so hard.
Yeah.
At least that's how it initially started.
Yeah, I can imagine. And not other family around to speak of, right? And the baby's, biological father not interested in helping out.
Yeah. Well, we were together. He was actually my first boyfriend.
Okay.
So we were together for a bit of time. But at the end of the day, you can't force somebody to be a father.
Well, he was so young too.
Yeah, he was so young too. He was so young too. And you can't force somebody to grow up fast.
Yeah.
You can't force somebody to be a present parent.
Yeah.
And, he has been there throughout the years, but maybe not in the consistency that my daughter would want or that I would want. But, that's life. It happens sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'm so thrilled to hear that since, all of this turmoil, let's say early on in life, you became inspired. How did that come about? Looking at Empowered Moms and what you're doing to help support other teenage mothers.
So in the journey of being a single mom, there were so many different obstacles that I faced. And a lot of it had to do with shame. That was the main thing. So when I say that, I'm saying like there were times that I did need help, whether it was like financially, growth wise, whatever the case was. But it's like because I'm a young mom,
Mm.
it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
If you ask for help and you speak up, it's like people are like,
Like,
well, why are
well,
you doing it?
yeah. Well, and just to say
Mhm.
too, like young parents, even people who are having kids and they're together young,
Yeah.
like it happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of judgment over it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just found myself needing help sometimes, but I was too embarrassed or scared to ask for help,
Mm.
whether that was like food stamps or anything like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like,
Yeah.
what kind of things were you in search of or in need of in
Yeah.
those times?
So definitely food security.
Okay.
There were times that I will say, thank God I was always able to provide for my daughter, but there were times that it felt really tight and I wish somebody would help me with groceries or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't possible, right? Or if I went to go seek help, I felt really judged over it.
Yeah.
So
well,
that's,
back then they didn't have a lot of support, I feel like.
yeah.
That was more readily available. Like, for
I
instance,
don't,
Tree of Life and some of these other, networks in Loudon now, like, it's no questions asked. And they even deliver the groceries to your
oh
home,
yeah. Yeah, a lot of that stuff wasn't available back then.
Yeah.
So aside from like the government assistance, right, being nervous to ask somebody for help, there also weren't these kind of organizations that were willing to put themselves between government and community and serve the people.
Yeah. Wow. So food scarcity was a thing. Were there any other areas that you really were like, oh, I wish I could get some advice or assistance?
So for me, it was groceries.
Okay.
It was bill assistance.
Mhm.
Also understanding my resources that are out there for education. So if
Yeah.
I want to grow, what kind of grants, what kind of scholarships, also even like daycare programs, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a lack of knowledge of what existed and how I could get that. So with Empowered Moms, aside from helping with groceries, bills, essentials, and things like that, I also connect the community to the resources.
Yeah.
I'm able and willing to look out there and see what kind of programs are out there, right? For scholarships, for grants, really for anything, and be that bridge and talk to people about like, hey, if you want to succeed and you want to do different, here are some resources to help you. You're not going to get everything that you need, but this is a step. And with that step, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about going through having a baby and still trying to get an education, because I'm sure that was such a challenge.
It was so hard. It was so hard. I will say my daughter and I have completely different college experiences. Mine was go to class, keep my head down, get my work done. There is no extra time to procrastinate because on top of that, I'm working full time and I'm a mom full time. So I just went in and got it done. Whereas like she gets to enjoy college, which I love. That's exactly what we worked for, right?
Yeah.
She gets to enjoy college. She gets to take her time with her homework, have a different college experience. But mine's wasn't one that was memorable in the terms of meeting more friends, creating a network, or making memories in college. It was just more like, I'm here to do business and I have to go.
Yeah. I started college and had started having kids very young before I actually could finish my degree as well. So I think by then it was nice to have like evening classes or online classes.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel the same as you. Like I was very disconnected from my educational experience because I had just the goal of like, just need to get it done.
Which also isn't a bad thing, by the way. I will say that college doesn't have to be an experience of chaos. You can find like middle ground. For me, and there wasn't a middle ground right there. It was just straight to business. But personally, that worked out for me because it helped me stay really disciplined and just focused on my goals. And I had a lot on my plate, so it worked out.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, there's something to be said even for the younger generations now to, not necessarily have everything handed to them. And yes, you're going to still have to work for things. And that includes like managing your time and resources. And
oh, yeah.
I'm sure your daughter is learning so much and has learned a lot just through being a witness, and that you guys are fairly close in age. My mom and I are also, my mom was she had just turned 18 when she had me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we're also very close in age. And, it makes for a little bit different of a dynamic between mother-daughter, I would say.
We have fun times and then we don't.
Yeah, exactly. Until you don't, right?
But at the end of the day, like, because we are so close in age and the fact that we have the kind of conversations that we do and the emotional intelligence is there, the empathy's there, when we find common ground, we find common ground.
So,
It's
and now
like,
she's in her first year of
mhm,
college.
yeah.
So is mine. And I don't know about your experience, but I'm noticing that my daughter is really like just growing up so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Just in the last couple of months of her attending, and seeing that she and I are pretty close in age. I mean, I was 25 when I had her.
Hmm.
I do really appreciate in the same way that we can still be kind of close and connected, but even though we're not like in the same, you know, whatever you want to say, I want to say like, age brackets, but like I was a young mom
Hmm.
and I think she's also very mature for her age. So
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to connect on many different levels and not just like, well, I'm your mother,
Yeah. Yeah. The way that I was raised, and like in Hispanic culture, moms are sometimes like, I'm not your friend. I'm not your little friend.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do have to be a friend to your child, especially
Yeah.
like a daughter in this time and age and everything that's happening in the world. So I am happy that we have that balance of like, I am your mom, but it's also like, I'm not your ruler. We're also
Yeah.
friends. Let's talk about certain things. Like, how can I help you out? How can I be there for you and help you navigate life?
Well, and vice
Yeah.
versa,
Hmm.
right? For them. Like, so let's talk a little bit about when you first started your nonprofit.
Oh, yeah.
So how did that come about?
So the way that I started my nonprofit is actually such an interesting concept when I really think about it. So I was on the phone with one of my best friends,
Mhm.
and I had just seen on the Ellen show another nonprofit called the Nest of Love.
Mm-hmm.
Nest of Love is a nonprofit that is basically the daughters of young moms, right? So it's a group of women who are looking for support in a different kind of way, creating community, right? So I was looking at the story and I was like, wait, what about if I could create a nonprofit that it's the other way around? It's moms getting support in
Mm-hmm.
whatever that means, right? So at this point, I'm just starting with an idea. I'm not sure where I'm going with it, but how do I create a community where moms get the support that they need, especially young single moms?
And not feel ashamed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I said to my best friend, I was just like, this is kind of weird. Like, I'm not a perfect person. Like, who am I to come back and help other people? I don't know why, but there was just something
No, I
around
know.
it where I was
feel
just,
like we all go
yeah,
through that when we have these grandiose.
yeah, it's like, who am I to do this?
Yeah.
Like, who am I to come back and help people? Like, I'm not that great. I mess up at life. Like, there was just a little bit of complication there with like my thought process. I got off the phone and my daughter like just stares at me. She's like, so when are you going to start this? You tell me that anytime I have an idea or that I think something that I should believe in myself and do it. It doesn't matter what other people think.
Mm-hmm.
And I started laughing because I was like, first of all, this is absolutely reverse psychology. Like, I know I taught you this, but you're not really supposed to remind me.
Right.
No, but just joking. It was a moment of awe where I was just like, first of all, this is amazing. This is something that I taught her, something that I instilled in her. And not only...
And she's really listening.
Yeah,
like she's really getting it.
She's listening, she's taking it in, but not just that, she's reminding me that I have to lead by example.
Yeah.
And pretty much she was like, so when are you going to start your paperwork? And then I start Googling things, start looking around. I have a cousin who has started a nonprofit before, like understands the paperwork process.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did it same day. Paid
Wow.
whatever it was. I forgot what the filing fee. Yeah,
whatever.
like all these little fees. Did my research on the name, and then bam, Empowered Moms was born in 2019.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's so inspirational. And just what a lovely tribute to the mother-daughter dynamic, right?
Oh, yeah.
And like as we each grow, I saw something that said like I learned how to be a mom first because of you, my
Yes.
eldest daughter.
Yes.
And my daughter does the same. She really, calls a spade if she sees something that I would otherwise be like, well, you should blah blah blah, and she's
Mhm.
like, well, mom, remember when you said this? Like,
Oh, I love it when they do that. You guys have a lot to look forward to.
no, but I mean, for real, I learned more about myself
Mhm.
through having my kids and becoming a mom and continuing to evolve into motherhood. I really give it to them, to be my greatest teachers.
Oh, for sure. It's also shown me how to give empathy to my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's it. It's been happening a lot. I think that there were certain moments where I was like, well, if I was a mom, I would have done it like this, or I would have done it like that. Something different, but same lesson might happen between my daughter and I.
Mm.
And suddenly I'm like, mom, by the way,
Yeah.
you did your best and you're amazing.
Yeah. No,
Mhm.
and part of that I think is evolving into like forgiving ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
understanding ourselves, or seeing the truth about a situation, and then not casting judgment or pointing the finger at other people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a journey. We're all going on it,
Exactly.
including our parents. And yeah, we didn't come with a manual, and our
Mm-hmm.
kids didn't come with a manual. And it does offer like that multi-generational healing,
Oh, for sure.
right?
For sure. It's crazy to see. I will say I've had moments in my life where I'm like, why was I the catalyst of A, B, C, D? Rather, it's out in the world, within my family. But standing where I'm standing today, I'm thankful that I was part of how do we all heal, like
Yeah.
multi-generational, right? It's a beautiful thing. It's hard, but it's beautiful.
Well, yeah, being a leader is never easy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And especially in your own hometown.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's a lot of quotes on that of, people who have seen you and your history, let's say, or you're growing up, and they're going to be like, wow, like you said to yourself,
Yeah.
like, well, who is she to do this? Well, guess what? Like, I am who I am, and I have a choice that I can either step up to it or
Yep.
you know, fall back and be like everybody else. Like, that's not going to serve anyone.
Well, we exist outside of the environment that people saw us at.
Yes.
Like different stages of our lives, they saw what they saw, and I continue to grow from it,
Yeah.
right? So that, yeah, you just grow in life.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Mhm.
So how did your family respond to your starting the nonprofit and then your daughter also like being a support? Did it change some of the dynamic?
You know,
Over time?
yes and no. My mom, for example, she didn't understand or comprehend what I was doing. And I mean that in the most respectful way. Where she came from, women usually don't own businesses. She hasn't seen that in her family before, right? So for her, when I was trying to explain to her what a nonprofit was, she's just like, I don't get it. Because she's like, so like, you're just helping people? Like, are you making money? What are you doing?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the one thing that she understood, bottom line, is like, you are helping people.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And I'm proud.
Yeah.
So she didn't really know how to take it, but she celebrates me today. I will say, like, my dad's side of the family, they've been very, very vocal about how proud they am of me.
Yeah.
So like my cousins, I know my dad's proud, and yeah, it's an interesting feeling.
Yeah, a way to bring people together, but not without its challenges.
Yeah.
So tell me about, as you started developing the nonprofit and marketing. I mean, I know you've been on the Today Show and Forbes interviewed you. So what was it like getting from like the very beginnings of it to where you are today?
From the bottom of my heart, I don't really feel like there were challenges. I don't. I'm very lucky, fortunate, and blessed that I have like my own like full-time job that takes care of everything. The nonprofit is 100% from my heart.
Yeah.
And because of that, and because of like my discipline in life, and also the way that I dedicate all the great things that happen in my life to God, I feel like it's just come back full circle easily. So even when there's times that I felt like I was really low on funding for whatever reason, which actually happened to me recently with this Thanksgiving campaign that I'm doing, I was budgeted for a certain amount of moms that we could help. I told one of my friends that I got way more applications than I normally do,
Right.
which is also makes sense considering that the cut of SNAP benefits. Vented that to one friend. She introduced me to one person, and he sent over the remainder. He's like, I'm going to cover the rest of the
Wow.
moms. Then separately, a nonprofit that I work with consistently just connected me with another nonprofit that's getting together, I want to say about 35 pre-made grocery hauls. So separately from what I'm already doing. And I already have that secure to like who I'm giving it to, what community
Wow.
I'm giving it to.
So your faith really.
Yeah, so I feel like it
comes
works
into
out.
play.
It works out at some point, always, no matter what. And at the end of the day, because the nonprofit is operating in a way of I'm here to serve others,
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with I need to make X amount of money to survive.
Right.
Anything that was given to me to pass along to others it's a gift.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel like there were struggles.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it sounds like you have a very strong faith. Did that evolve over time, or you were always, you said your family was Catholic. Were you practicing?
So I was raised Catholic. I want to say that I've always believed in God, but it probably wasn't until like 2016, 2017 that I started going to community church.
Okay. Yeah.
And as time went on, I just kept growing closer and closer and closer. And this is going to sound so insane, but one day, I want to say maybe this was like 2020, 2021, something like that. I just had this moment where it all made sense. I can't explain it. Like, I felt like I had like an outer body experience. Mind you, I was only just like cleaning around the house. So I'm just cleaning, doing my own thing. And suddenly it's like I felt like I was rushed with all these memories of different things in life. And I was like, everything had to happen to get to A, B, C, D. And actually, I do remember vividly what I was doing as well. Aside from cleaning, I was like looking outside of my house window and I was like, this is the view I always wanted. It's so beautiful. Like, because my daughter and I made this house together. Our initials are like in the wood.
Yeah.
Like, we built this, right? And I was just having a moment of gratitude. And that's where everything came together. And it was like, God was always there with you. He was always protecting you. Even when I felt like I lost faith, it all, like, he was always there.
Yeah, looking
Yeah.
back, you're like, well, but
Yeah.
this would, if this didn't happen, then that wouldn't have
Yeah.
happened. And I have had similar moments in
It's
life
so weird.
too. It's very surreal.
Yeah.
But I guess that's when God's really there behind the scenes working the whole time.
Exactly. And it's, I always knew he was there, but
Yeah.
I think there was like a small part of me that had lost hope sometimes.
I do.
Right?
We're human.
You don't like, you don't realize it. You're like, okay, I believe in God, but suddenly like you also look up and you're like, I don't know, like, is he actually
Is
around?
this really like
Like, where are
I
we?
did what you said.
I'm like,
and now...
it'd be nice if you appeared anytime soon with all the solutions.
Yeah.
But no, like later it makes sense of how the solution was there. And like his hand and his protection was always over you. So because of that, I feel like I've been protected and blessed in my personal life in different ways, but also given so much in abundance when it comes to the nonprofit that I can't answer and say I really had any struggles or face any challenges when everything that I got was able to go back into the community. So
God was showing more himself through the nonprofit and just the ease of, let's say, as each obstacle or challenge in your mind, right, that was coming about, that there was a solution right there to follow and right behind.
Yeah, that he was always there providing not just for myself, but also for these moms through me.
Yeah. Wow. Well, what's it like? I can imagine personal satisfaction, being able to help support other moms who are going through, really tough times. If you're a teenager with raising a baby and maybe not family being so supportive. Do you have any stories of some of the folks who have been touched by your organization?
Yeah. So what I think is really beautiful is that a lot of these families, they don't just look at me as somebody that helped that one time or has helped throughout the years, but they remember me as a person. So I've had times that people send Christmas cards to my house. If I run into them at the grocery store, just out and about, they're like, hi, how are you? And sometimes people would just send me a text message saying like, hey, for some reason I was thinking about you. Do you need me to pray for you? So it's beautiful because it's not just a one-off help or like a one-off thing. Like, we're actually creating community together.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful because I feel like I was invited into their family in like its own unique way.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, where do you see your nonprofit going, and approximately how many families are you able to help at different, like, do you have, I understand you have a drive for Thanksgiving, perhaps something for Christmas time.
Yeah.
Are those your busiest times throughout the year? Or like, what kind of things are you providing throughout the year, and how many families can you expect, let's say, to help next year?
Yeah. So what Empowered Moms does is we help with groceries and bill assistance.
Okay.
On a monthly basis, we try and provide groceries for at least 10 families.
Okay.
I will say that this year is the first year in a long time that I haven't been able to consistently do that. Times have changed, the economy has changed, and the donations just aren't always there, right? So what I've done this year is I've applied myself to responding to grants a lot more. It's been a process for sure, but one that I can understand.
Good.
Because working in tech sales, and I've worked in federal sales before and have responded to like RFQs, RFPs, it's almost like the same layout. It's just very time consuming, right? But I've done it because I would like to be able to get more grants to be able to help more moms, right?
Okay, yeah.
That being said, I am so lucky that I was able to get the donations for my holiday campaigns.
Yeah.
So holiday, we do groceries for Thanksgiving. And this year we're able to do it for way more moms than we initially anticipated for. And then in December, we do what's called our holiday drive, where we buy and give out household essentials, winter essentials to families.
Okay.
So that's what we have going on. I guess I can't really answer it from a standpoint of like how many moms we helped this year because it really varied.
Okay.
But I'd say altogether, maybe like about 60, 70 moms,
Okay.
right?
Wow.
Throughout different campaigns.
Yeah.
These that I have going on, but also even our back to school backpack drive where we gave
Okay.
backpacks and school supplies, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Altogether, empowered moms for the last couple years, I'd say roughly like 700-ish moms,
Wow.
right? And families that we've
Yeah.
been able to help. And I hope like long term, what I would like is eventually one day being able to do this full time.
Yeah.
If I can secure enough grants that one day I can quit my job in tech, and if like you're my boss in tech watching this, you're not. But if I could pay myself my tech salary and work even a fraction of it and just focus and dedicate all my time to the nonprofit, I would love to do that.
Oh, that sounds just
Yeah.
so fulfilling.
It would be a beautiful life.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But for now, just to be clear, I still think that I live a beautiful life because thank God I have a job that employs me. I get to do something that I like to do, right? My work-wise, I love working in tech, but then also
it's helping
it's helping me
also
do
work
this, and then
the-
it's helping me, and then I can still do what I want to do with helping moms.
Yeah.
So I'm still very, very happy and thankful.
Yeah, that's so great. Well, I mean, your story and your nonprofit are so inspiring.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit more and maybe share with our viewers where they can find you online, where they could maybe make donations or how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, thank you. So Empowered Moms, MUMS.
Yeah,
Just
so
gonna-
mums,
Yeah,
but
moms.
but mums.
Unfortunately, moms was taken up when I was trying to get it. Empoweredmoms.org. We also have an Instagram, Empowered Moms, and you can make a donation on either or, but it is a tax deductible donation because we are a 501c3 nonprofit. So yeah, just find us online.
Okay.
And also people can always reach out to me directly, especially if they want to partner up for something together to give back to the community. I'm always open and looking for partnerships because if other people want to help families, I have the families, I know exactly where they are, and we can do this together.
And what they need.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so great.
Mm-hmm.
So share a little bit more, because I know you said you had other resources or other ways of connecting these families to maybe for like taxes or professional advice, or what does that look like?
So when I say connecting families to other resources, first starting with employment. So what I mean by that, right, is maybe one of the moms that I help has a cleaning service. And I happen to know people in tech that live in the area that are looking for cleaning services, right? So I'll help bridge the gap and connect people. And that, securing a mom with more income, like we're going to make it a long way by doing that, right?
Yes.
Separately, right, you mentioned taxes specifically. I have somebody who has a tax company, right? So when it's time to do taxes, I'm like, hey, go to this person. And I will tell that person, hey, the mom that's coming to you, I met her through my nonprofit. And sometimes they'll just do the taxes for free or sometimes at a lower cost, right? It's people that understand and know like, hey, how can I help you?
Yeah, it's a way to give back.
It's a way to give back in their own way, right?
Yeah.
But then also separately from that, if a mom, like I was saying, is looking to pursue an education and they're looking for grants, like I'm more than happy to help you with the research, especially if you're not very like research savvy. This is new to you.
Or reading through contracts or putting together paperwork.
I'm more than happy to help. There was actually one time that a mom reached out to me because her son had been dropped from like an elective in high school, and she was going back and forth with the principal, but there was clearly like a language barrier.
Okay.
And she reached out to me and she's like, hey, this is very random, but would you mind helping me translate and talking to them and explaining to them that this is what happened? This is why my son missed the classes. And I was able to help them bridge that gap. And eventually, like, the son got back and reinstated into all the classes. He unfortunately had missed a few classes because of some health stuff. But the mom was sitting here like, wait, like this is his senior year.
Yeah.
I need him to graduate. I worked very hard. He worked very hard.
Yeah.
We're at the finish line and he's about to be held back.
Yeah.
So I was able to help her with that. So that's another way, just like, helping in any way that we can.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
And for all you're doing in the community. Thank you so much for coming today.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I was looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. So we have a special little game. I hope that you're okay with playing
Okay,
our
let's do
ping
it.
pong questions.
I don't know
just
what
so
that is.
Our viewers can get to know you
Okay, let's do it.
a little more personally.
Okay.
All right, let's get started.
Okay.
Ping pong questions.
Ooh.
First
I don't know
question.
where we're going, but I'm
It'll
here
be
for the ride.
Quick, easy answers.
No, let's do it.
Okay. What's your favorite way to rest and recharge as a mom?
Self-care every day.
Yeah.
For me, contrast therapy. So
Okay.
doing an hour session at Sweat House. Pretty much you are in the sauna. I crank it up to 160 degrees. I'll cold plunge for 3 minutes. That, eating my favorite meal. So like I love this one kebab place in Tyson's.
Okay.
And
I
then,
was going to ask you, what is one meal you could eat every day and not get tired of it?
Ooh, wait. So for a self-care day, the kebab is my thing. So
Okay.
kebab, infrared sauna. If I can add some shopping into there, I will. Although I'm on a anti-consumerism thing, it's not going so well. But if I can do that, like I might even have to buy.
I have those ideas too, and
it's
I'm
so
like,
hard.
but Amazon.
No, so like the kebab place is also in the mall.
Oh.
That's-
okay. Well, okay. That's
It's like the worst setup, but that is what I'll do. And now I've narrowed it down though, where I'm like, okay, if it's just like one lip gloss from Sephora, like I just walk out feeling better.
yes.
So that's my thing. That's what the perfect self-care day is for me.
Okay, I love it. So, well, let's go. If you could have a meal, the same meal every day, and not get tired of it, what would it be?
Pena lavaca.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
my favorite with shrimp, grilled shrimp.
Yeah, my kids
Yeah,
love that.
I love it.
Love that.
Anytime I see that on the menu, whatever restaurant I'm at, I will
like,
try it.
I'm getting it.
It's my favorite.
Okay, what's a quote or a mantra that you live by?
So I have two actually, and I might be saying this wrong because I notice I always say it wrong, but community church, Pastor Charlie, he always says, what does he say? What has always been doesn't always have to be, or something like that.
Yep.
So every
love that
now,
one.
yeah, it ends something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one that I'm like, okay, we got that. And then also another one is don't hog your journey. I actually just heard that from Hoda. So she was one of the people that interviewed me on the Today Show.
Okay.
I was watching a different interview maybe like a month ago, and she said how somebody said don't hog your journey because it might help somebody else out. So I just started to get more comfortable with that. I usually do not like talking about myself, but I've noticed like sometimes people ask me because it does help them. So
Yeah.
don't hog your journey. You don't know who it can help.
Yeah, don't be shy. But I think you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like you're already doing it.
Might
so.
be sweating, but I'm doing it.
I love that mantra. Thank you for sharing that. A book that you've read that, had a huge impact on you.
So I've actually stopped with some of the self-help books
Okay.
because I feel like there comes a point where we're overdoing this a little bit too much.
Yeah. It's like too much information.
Yeah, too much information. But the one that I highly recommend to everybody, it's called The God-Shaped Brain. I cannot remember who it's by. I'd have to look it up on my phone. But pretty much it's bringing together neuroscience and how to rewire your brain and how that also exists within Christianity, right? So just understanding that whatever has been doesn't always have to be.
Yeah. And prayer life.
Exactly.
And I think also, the neurodivergence
Yes.
and all of that.
Yes. So
Cool.
the God-Shaped Brain, I can't remember
The God-Shaped Brain.
God-Shaped Brain. I cannot remember who wrote this, but I did
We'll
it in
look it up.
audiobook. Yeah, it's a really good book. So for
Awesome.
sure. But aside from that, by the way, that's the one that I recommend. But separately from that, don't get caught up in always working on yourself because we're doing that every single day, and there
Yeah.
reaches a point where it becomes too much that you don't give yourself credit for where you are. So what I have done is I've been a little bit more on like the fiction side of the world, just reading a couple of different books. And I don't know, it's just like a nice little escape, a little moment to have like creative imagination, and it works. It helps like balance out your nervous system.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, because if we're always thinking that we're not enough,
Yeah.
then
Or what can I do better?
right.
Yeah.
Then we're not able to stop and pause and reflect on all that we have created. And
Yeah.
done. So
Yeah.
that's very powerful.
Yeah, don't overdo it. At least that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I love that. So, and the last question, one word that defines your journey today.
I'd say resilient. Just being resilient.
Yeah.
And that can mean so many things, but I'll leave it at that.
It shines through you.
Yeah.
So, wow, you're such an inspiration.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, playing along. Let's share with our viewers and listeners where they can find you online, which platforms, and what are your handles.
Well, thank you so much for having me. If anybody wants to look up Empowered Moms, it's empoweredmoms.org, and that's empoweredmums.org. And then our socials are listed on there as well, or if you look us up on Instagram, empoweredmoms_.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to continue our journey. I'm just thrilled to see all the wonderful works that you've done and support you in the future.
Thank you. And I'm excited to look at more of the podcasts that you have going on. So you've interviewed and have had conversations with like a variety of people. So I think that that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for that. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So if you guys loved this message and are inspired, please don't hesitate to like and share this episode with the people that you love. I love creating them for you and with my beautiful guests, and we hope that you stay inspired watching this channel. So you can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify, and we will see you in the next episode. Ciao.